Do you want to learn how to become a real estate photographer? Check out my course, How to Become a Real Estate Photographer, at rickmcevoyphotography.com. Ever looked at a stunning photo and wondered what makes it so special? Chances are, it's all about the light. Light is the very essence of photography. Without it, there's no picture. In fact, the word photography literally means drawing or writing with light, if you ever wonder where the word came from. But it's not just about having light, it's about understanding and using it. Today, we're diving deep into the art of light, showing you how to turn harsh, ugly light into something soft and beautiful, and how to spot heavenly light to make your photos truly sing. We'll uncover how light affects your images and the simple, practical techniques to master it, transforming your everyday shots into captivating works. Sounds good, doesn't it? Light is the single most important element in photography. It determines the mood, the texture, the colours, and the overall feel of each and every image we take. It's a tool you can control and work with. Learning to see and understand light quality, from harsh direct sunlight to soft diffuse shade, is crucial. Mastering light direction, whether it's hitting your subject from the front, the side, the back, above, below, blah-de-blah-de-blah, helps you create shape and depth in a photo. By understanding light, you transform everyday scenes into extraordinary photographs. It's all about working with what you've got, and it's free. Hi, and welcome to episode 217, not 216 as the script says, of the Photography Explained podcast. And the title of this one, The Art of Light, From Harsh to Heavenly. A very good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening to you, wherever you are in the world and whatever time of day you find yourself listening to me. I'm your host, Rick. Hi. And in each episode, I try to explain one photographic thing to you in plain English in less than 27 minutes-ish without the irrelevant details. Yes, really. I'm a professionally qualified photographer based in England with a lifetime of photographic experience, which I share with you in my splendid podcast. Today, we're mastering light, photography's most essential ingredient. We'll explore simple, practical lighting tips for using it effectively. This isn't a complex physics lecture. Well, of course it isn't. I'm talking, aren't I? It's about practical ways to get the best results from your camera. And if you're new to understanding your camera settings, you might want to revisit episode 211, Understanding Your Camera Settings, a simple guide to your modes. How utterly splendid. Right, let's get into this. Here are 5 top tips for working with light. These tips will simplify how you see and think about light, which will help you create impactful images with beautiful illumination. Tip 1, seeing the light, understanding light quality. Harsh versus soft. The first step to mastering light is learning to see it and understand its quality. Yeah, we can all see light, but do we really see it? The answer is probably no, we don't. And light isn't just on or off, it comes in all sorts of different flavors, which are broadly categorized as harsh light and soft light, and everything in between. Harsh light, like direct midday sun, creates strong defined shadows and bright, blown-out highlights. Yeah, think of those squinty-eyed family photos at lunchtime, or someone standing directly under a street light at night. This kind of light is very high contrast, which can be dramatic and powerful, but also incredibly challenging to work with. It often results in lost detail in both the brightest and darkest parts of your photo. And if you're struggling with strong sunlight, go back and check out episode 209, Taking Great Photos in Direct Sunlight, Beating the Harsh Light. And on the other hand, soft light is diffused and even, creating gentle transitions between light and shadow. Imagine the light from an overcast day, not difficult if you live in England like me, or the glow from a large window, or the uniform shade under a large tree. This kind of light is much more forgiving, reducing harsh shadows, minimizing skin blemishes in portraits and wrinkles on an old face like mine, and allowing for a broader range of tones in your image. It literally wraps around your subject, making everything look smoother and more flattering. Learning to identify these two qualities on the fly will instantly tell you how forgiving or dramatic your lighting situation is, and how you might need to adjust your shooting for that lighting. And that's part of this, isn't it? It's adapting to what we've got. Tip 2, shaping your subject, the importance of light direction. Now we understand light quality, the next crucial element is light direction. Where's the light coming from in relation to your subject? Front lighting, and this is light hitting the front of your subject directly from behind you as the photographer. This tends to flatten out details and make colours pop. It's great for clear, bright portraits, but it can make your subject look a bit two-dimensional. Bit cardboard cutout-ish. It doesn't usually have much depth or drama. Side lighting. This can be from the left or the right, of course, and from any angle. This is where the magic of three-dimensionality really begins, and I can just about say dimensionality, which I'm pleased with. Side lighting creates shadows that reveal texture, shape, and dimension, making your subject appear to have more form and volume. This is favoured for landscapes to highlight the contours of hills, for example, or for portraits to help sculpt the face, creating definition and visual interest. Backlighting, light coming from directly behind your subject, facing your camera. And this is fantastic for creating dramatic silhouettes where your subject appears as a dark shape against a bright background. It can also create a beautiful rim light or hair light that outlines your subject with a glowing halo. And it can help to separate the subject matter from the background, and it can give you a dreamy, ethereal kind of feel. It can be tricky to expose correctly, and you often need to overexpose slightly or use fill light, or a reflector as mentioned in episode 216. Yep. Why not shoehorn that one in, Rick? And that's not even in the script, that's an ad-lib. And here's a great tip. Experimenting with your position relative to the light source, even by just a few steps, it can completely change the mood and impact of a photo. And with side lighting, you've obviously got a range of directions, haven't you? I advocate this walking, looking and thinking malarkey before taking a photo. As you walk around, the light changes, and as you walk around in relation to your subject matter and the background, the light comes into play, and as you move around, watch how the light changes, because you'll find something and be like, oh, that's good, and that's where you take the photo from. Yes, dear listener, it's all about walking, looking, and thinking, my 3 photography superpowers. Tip 3, the magic hours, harnessing golden hour and blue hour light. There are specific times of day when light is simply magical, and photographers affectionately call them golden hour and blue hour. These are your secret weapons for heavenly light. Well, not so secret, are they? Golden hour occurs shortly after sunrise and leading up to sunset. During this time, the sun is very low in the sky, causing its light to travel through more of the Earth's atmosphere. And this scatters the blue light, leaving behind a soft, warm, golden glow. This light is incredibly flattering for everything. Portraits get a warm, healthy glow, landscapes are bathed in rich hues, and cityscapes take on a beautiful, ethereal quality. The shadows are long and soft, and they add depth and drama without being harsh. Yep, this is nature's perfectly set filter, all there for you. And if you're keen on capturing these moments in a broader scene, check out episode 213, your first 5 steps into landscape photography. Then we got blue hour, which happens just before sunrise and immediately after sunset. The sun hasn't appeared or it's dipped completely below the horizon, but there's still a remnant of daylight in the upper atmosphere. This gives the sky a deep, rich blue tone, often with hints of orange and pink from the distant sun. It's a fantastic time for cityscapes where the deep blue sky beautifully complements artificial lights, and it gives a cool, serene and sophisticated feel to your photos. The light is incredibly soft and even during this time. These are times to set your alarm, dear listener, or stay out longer. Trust me, it's worth losing a bit of sleep for. And this is what I do on holiday. I get up way before sunrise. Not every day, I hasten to add. 3 or 4 times in a fortnight I'm happy with. Well, maybe 7. Not every day. Wouldn't go down well with the family, would it? No, it wouldn't. So I love getting up a good time before sunrise. I love blue hour. I like watching everything happening. And when I'm photographing a sunrise, I will try to get 3 photos. It's the same composition, but I want the 3 different ranges of light. I want a bit of blue hour. I want the moment the sun appears, the moment the sun disappears for sunset, and I want some of the light afterwards. Now, I might take more than 1 photo of each. Of course I might. I do advocate trying to get 1 photo, but my intention is just to get that 1 photo, okay? Tip 4, making the most of flat light, overcast skies, and open shade. I live in England. We get a lot of flat light. We're experts in it. Overcast skies, yep, I know all about them. I spend far too much time taking photos in them, but I don't get a choice. I'll come on to that. So what do you do on those days when the light isn't golden, you haven't got blue hour, it's cloudy, the light's rubbish? Many photographers see a cloudy day and think, rubbish light, can't be bothered. But an overcast sky, it's actually a fantastic gift of a different type. See, the overcast sky acts like a giant natural softbox, and it's diffusing the sunlight evenly across the entire scene. This creates soft, directionless light that's fantastic for a multitude of subjects. Portraits benefit from even skin tones and reduced harsh shadows. Macro photography reveals intricate details without distracting highlights, and product photography looks clean and professional. It's incredibly forgiving light, making it ideal for beginners who are still learning to manage exposure. Similarly, open shade, like under a large tree, under an awning, a porch, the shadow of a building. These provide beautifully soft, even light, protecting your subject from direct harsh sun and creating natural, flattering illumination. So don't dismiss these light conditions as boring. They offer a different kind of beauty and are often preferred by many photographers for their ability to reveal subtle details and accurate colours without the distractions of strong highlights and shadows. So embrace the clouds and the shade, dear listener. They're giving you a giant free softbox. You just need to think about what you're taking photos of if it's not sunny. Back to the thinking, aren't we? Tip 5, painting with shadows, using shade and contrast creatively. Yep, light isn't just about what's illuminated, it's also about what's in shadow. Shadows are incredibly powerful compositional tools that can add depth, mystery, and drama to your photos. So don't be afraid of them, learn to compose with them and let them work for you. Long shadows from a low sun can create captivating leading lines, drawing the viewer's eye through the frame, or form interesting abstract patterns that become subjects themselves. Deep shadows can hide distracting elements, which can simplify your composition and draw the eye directly to the brighter, more important parts of your image. And you can use shadows to declutter a busy scene if you're clever. And there's the interplay between light and shadow, which creates contrast, which is vital for adding impact and making your subjects pop. Think of how strong light on one side of a face and deep shadow on the other can create a sense of mystery or drama in a portrait. I think we all know what those photos look like. It's amazing. Not my strong suit, taking photos of people. And you can even look for dappled light, where light filters through leaves or objects, creating interesting patterns of light and shadow on your subject. See, understanding how shadows define shape, add mood, and contribute to the overall storytelling is as important as understanding light itself. They are 2 sides of the same coin, and they work together to create compelling photographs. And for more on using elements to guide the eye and compose your shots, have a listen to episode 214, Finding Your Best Angle, Simple Tips for Better Composition. I think that's the last other episode plug for this episode. That's enough, isn't it? Yes, it is, Rick. Right, dear listener, here's something for you to do. Grab your camera or your phone and head out. Choose a single subject. It could be a simple mug, a tree, a friend. Yep, that's the first 3 things I thought of. Now, photograph it or them at different times of the day. Midday sun, late afternoon, dusk, early morning, etc., etc. And from different angles relative to the light. Front, side, back, up, down, in, out, shake it all about. And also try photographing it or them. I have to say them because it's your friend. Your friend's not it, is it? No, it's not. Also try photographing it/them in direct sun and then move into open shade. Pay attention to how the quality of the light, harsh versus soft, and the direction of the light change the mood, shadows, colours, feel, definition, and interest of a photo. Compare your photos and see how much difference simply observing and working with light makes. And it's massive, let me tell you. What if I use a phone to take my photos? It all applies, doesn't it? Your phone is basically another device that we can use to take photos. And you can play around with stuff like the exposure slider on your phone screen to help you brighten your shadows or protect your highlights. And you can do all sorts of other stuff with third-party apps. I'm not a big one for doing all that stuff with my phone because I've got my cameras, haven't I? So I don't really need to. So there you go. That's a quick and brief bit about phones. What do I do? Well, what do I do? As a professional photographer specializing in architectural, landscape, and travel photography, my life revolves around light. Of course it does. The first decision on any shoot is, what's the light doing? If the light isn't right, I don't even press the shutter button. However, and this is a big however, I often have fixed, non-negotiable times to photograph buildings. This means, as much as I'd love to shoot every structure in the perfect golden hour light, it's simply not always an option. Not always an option? I've never photographed a building at sunrise for a client. It never happens. Of course it doesn't. So when I'm faced with harsh midday sun or cloudy light, I work with the light I've got because that's all I can do. And this means leveraging natural shade and angles by strategically positioning my camera to use existing shade from nearby buildings, large trees, or even the building itself to soften the light or create intentional contrast. And this helps to manage those harsh transitions. I employ the shadows cast by architectural features to create dramatic contrast rather than trying to eliminate them. I might even frame the shot to emphasize the strong shadows, adding drama. And then there's overcast days. Well, cloudy sky is actually a blessing here because it gives me beautiful, soft, diffused light that reveals details without harsh glare. And this can be perfect for showing off textures and colors. And I could always swap the sky later. Should I have said that? Changing my angle dramatically. No, I don't think I should I? Rather than waiting for the sun to move, I move. Walking, looking, thinking. And getting low, high, shifting my perspective significantly to find where the light's working best for that particular time of day, for that particular subject, is what I do. And when I'm photographing a building, I've got different directional light on different parts of a building, haven't I? So I just make the best of what I've got. So overcast days are not a no-no for photographing buildings. It can be good because you've got even lighting all the way around, which makes sense, doesn't it? Imagine you got the sun on the side of the building or the back and then the front's in shade. It doesn't look as good, does it? So for photographing buildings, overcast days, they can be absolutely fine. But for landscapes, I get more flexibility, I get more choice, and I will tend to use golden hour or blue hour when I can. It doesn't stop me from taking photographs at other times of day, but I've got a choice. Like I say, for my architectural photography, it's about being adaptable and creative with the given time to ensure every photograph I deliver is not just technically perfect, but aesthetically captivating. And that's by careful thought about the direction and quality of the light. Final takeaways and my summary for mastering light. Let's recap the essentials for mastering light, transforming your photos. Firstly, learn about light quality. Understand the difference between harsh light, direct light, and soft, diffused light. Control light direction. Experiment front, side, left, right, up, down, etc. And also backlighting to shape your subject and make things interesting. Embrace the magic hours. Plan shoots when you can around golden hour and blue hour. But also love flat light. Overcast days and open shade provide wonderfully soft, even illumination. Use shadows creatively. Don't fear them, use them. Use them to help form your composition and add interest to a photo. And lastly, become a student of light, like me. Make it a habit to study light even when you're not taking photos. And that is what I do all the time. Learning to truly love light will transform your photography and your way of seeing the world. Practice these simple tips consistently and you'll dramatically improve how you see and capture light, making your photos truly stand out. Right, some thoughts from the last episode 216, essential accessories for every photographer, open brackets without breaking the bank, close brackets. It ended up actually being me telling you what gear I have and use, and that is pretty much all that I have, and pretty much all that I use. And each of these bits of kit help me to take better photos in one way or another. Okay, next episode 218, why your photos look flat and how to fix them. Yes, really. And here's the bit that I've redone as it was getting too long. If you've enjoyed this episode, and I truly hope you have, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future ones. And for anything else, check out my website, rickmcavoyphotography.com, where you can find out how to ask me a question, get a weekly email from me, get in touch, or find out more about my splendid podcast. And you can text me directly from the podcast feed. Oh, and I've got a YouTube channel too. Just type Rick McEvoy into YouTube and you'll find me soon enough. And finally, check out my courses page where you'll find my splendid How to Become a Real Estate Photographer course. Right, this episode was brought to you by a cheese and pickle sandwich. Yes, really. And a Coke Zero, which I consumed before settling into my homemade acoustically cushioned recording emporium. I've been Rick McEvoy. Thanks again very much for listening to my small but perfectly formed podcast, it says here, and for giving me 27 minutes of your valuable time. I reckon this episode will be about 22 minutes long after editing out the mistakes and the other bad stuff. Thanks for listening. Take care. Stay safe. Cheers from me, Rick. How to become a real estate photographer. rickmcavoyphotography.com/courses.